Hello everyone and welcome for another video of Love and Wargames. In this video, we are finally reviewing the second wave of releases for the Sorcerer Kings for Conquest. And it's been difficult because actually I received these boxes more than a month later than the initial date that I was supposed to. Because FedEx doesn't know how to work, if I sum it up. So apologize for the late video because as you know, I now do unboxing and Tactica at the same time, and I've been wanting to do those for a while, but they tried, from what they say, 10 times to deliver, and they never understood what was going on. So let's not waste any more time on this, and let's right now start with the unboxing. If you want, there's going to be a timestamp if you want to go straight to the Tactica of the two variants of the Windborne Djinns or the two variants of the Rakshasa, if you would like. As always, give us a thumbs up, it really helps. Little comment to gain chance to win a Dystopian Wars battle fleet. 2 armadas are in play. Subscribe if you're not subscribed yet, all the YouTube things, and let's open the box. Okay, we are going to start with the Windborne Djinns, and there is the Steelhearts as well, which is the other variant. We will not talk too much about how they play to begin with. We'll keep this for the Tactica. The Steelheart Djinns, oh, I love the cards. The Steelheart Djinns are the melee versions with this insane looking giant axe, and the Windborns are the artillery, the ranged version. And since they are going to be mass 2, size 2, they're going to be able to shoot over your goals, your Rajakurs, all this stuff, and so it makes them very efficient, but we'll talk more about how to play them in the Tactica, of course. Some building instructions with the number. I have no idea what this is. Well, I think the building instructions are online, but I like that they do put it inside physically. Well, I don't know, it's not very eco-friendly, so of course my wife would hate this. But for my own, I think it's convenient when you build it to have it directly next to you, though you could say you can have a tablet. I know Dystopian Wars doesn't do this anymore except for the largest boxes, and it makes me sometimes a bit sad, but I also understand the point. Also good to have it in paper. Then we have the bases, of course. We're gonna have 3 monsters, so 3 bases, larger size, like brute size, if you want to use the correct terminology. And then we have the sprues. And we have 2 plastic sprues, okay. Well, I have to say that they're getting crazier and crazier. Can you see the shapes? Even the sprues themselves feel very windy. I guess it's normal because the miniatures themselves, as we will see in the pictures, you can already see how windy they are. They are very going around, they're very aerials. I don't know how better to say this, but yeah, the sprues themselves, do you see this kind of symmetrical thing? It's really cool, actually. It's even harder to understand what goes where. We can see one head here, for example, very angry head, and another head here, so you will have some variation. Oh my god, this weapon, the weapon is absolutely massive. Oh my god, this is gigantic. They might take a bit of space if you build them in the melee version, in your bits box and in your where you store your miniatures, because damn, this is long sword slash axe slash halberd. Not sure how you would call it. Do we call this a halberd? If you know, do let me know in the comments. I think it's a halberd or axe. I don't know. So we have one sprue like this. Is it exactly the same, the second sprue? I would say no. Indeed, they are not the same. Okay, it could look from the things in the middle, but no, they are not the same. Not exactly the same. There are still some weapons. Here is 3rd and 4th weapon. So you have 4 melee weapons. Probably to get some different poses, and then of course the bows. The bows are looking insanely good. I love this little style. Could almost say it's almost elvish in a way, with the little scriptures on the arm. I do have to say, it looks good. It's very hard to read this, actually. Look, this is this painting in the Chapelle 16. It's barely touching each other. Very cute miniatures. The heads are, oh my god, this head with the protections in front of the eyes. Okay, there you can really enjoy painting those. I like the Ifrits already, and as much as this is a prowess, I have to say I prefer the Ifrits in terms of general appearance. But wow, this is really good sprue. Even the sprue looks good. All right, let's not waste too much time. This is the 2 plastic sprues for the Djinns. Let's now go to the unboxing of the Rakshasa. Okay, the Rakshasa, this version with the 4 swords, is the Bakasura. And that is a big box, that is a monster-sized box. Love this head, probably my favorite of them all. You have a tiger head and you have this demon head. This, I don't know, Azura head, I'm not sure how to call this thing. And I know there is like Azuras, which are the good, and I will not try to say anything. But we recently, like this weekend, went to a museum of like Southeast Asia and Central Asian art in Paris, and I highly recommend it. And it was very interesting to see like, well, we can see how Conquest got inspired by this. And yeah, it's like such a different culture that we don't talk about enough. Like all this Indian mythology, like Cambodia and Thai, like, and they have like insanely good like statues and sculptures and everything, even like from the 5th or 6th century. It's insane. We don't talk about this enough, and I'm very happy that Conquest puts oh my god, puts a light on it. Do you see the size of those swords? Like we were comparing with the size of the Djinns, but like this is absolutely massive. Wait a second, I'll put some more light. Those swords are absolutely insane. I will notice that there is no resin at all. Like there are gonna be 4 plastic sprues, and that is going to be it, including this. Some of them are really deep, like I don't know if you can see, but we talked about sometimes how the sprues of Conquest are like in 3D. This one is insanely deep. We'll start with, well, first of all, let's start with the Ravanar card, and I'm supposed to have a second card. Yeah, the Bakasura, oh my god. Okay, this card is good, but just this card is so insanely cool, it makes you want to start a Sorcerer King army. Okay, we'll talk about the 2 variants in a moment, like in the Tactica. Basically, one is a monster hunter and another one is a duellist. And when you duel someone with 4 swords like this, I can tell you, you're usually gonna win. You guys see the level of details of this? I mean, it might be a little bit difficult to paint, like in the sense, like, you don't want to miss it. Of course, you can make some contrast and stuff on the skin, on the metal there. It's gonna look good, but especially those swords, like you gotta do something to make it look good there. Some very cool, I don't know how we call this, the shields on the forearm, like this type of shield, like there is a watch now for us. Looking great, especially when you have 4 arms. The little monstrous pole. You do not get, I guess you do, you do get a building instruction. Again, of course, well, it's a big box, so of course they're gonna put it. Doesn't look that difficult, to be fair. Fire section, okay, they explain everything here. You have at the end the 3 heads. You choose whichever you want. Very easy. And of course, here is the Ravanar, and you have another side for the Rakshasa. Seems easy enough. So yeah, let's have a look at this. The torso is, like, as we said, so deep and quite detailed here. And the cape is gonna look great. Like, really, you can do some great stuff with this. The legs right there. You get some little details. This looks like a little mask that you can put with the ears. And of course, the fire that you can, if you feel crazy, you can do some great OSL, but then it's gonna take a lot of time, like a lot more time, but it's gonna be your centerpiece. Not sure how many you're gonna get, but could be a good idea to have 1 or 2 of those being painted at the highest level. Okay, we are about done. Now we have, I really love these armor pieces with all the, it really reminds me of what I saw in this music game, like recently, like they really hit the spot. Like it's exactly like the artifacts that are being exposed in Paris. I feel very bad saying this because I realize like it's like stolen artifacts from the dark times of the 19th and 20th centuries, but at least they're here. I can see how beautiful they look. The bits around there are really, like, I love the art style. Like here, look at this, just look at this one. Like you can put, there is a gem in the middle, like if we can say, you can have different types of texture, like of course some minerals, some gems, you can have armor, of course, some gold, some tissues, some flames with the whistle. You can really, like, if you want to win a golden demon, okay, it doesn't exist, but like if you want to spend a lot of time on one miniature and put it on Colors of Conquest, I'm not sure if you win anything when you post on Colors of Conquest hashtag, but for sure, like, this is gonna look insane if you want to spend the time on it. And if you don't, just put some contrast and it's gonna look great anyway. My god, look at this. What the heck? Okay, this is the main weapon of the, not the Rakshasa, not the Bakasura, I think it's the Ravanar. And well, I cannot even hold it of one hand like that. Like, this might be one of the largest weapon I've ever seen in Conquest. It's absolutely massive. And yeah, I can imagine this killing monsters for sure. Get some other weapons, the chains of course, and the heads. Okay, we get the tiger head, looks good, not my favorite. The demon head, I prefer it a little bit more. I really like the horns actually, it's really a demon with horns. Where is my favorite head? Well, it's not there. And indeed, the nice like little spirit head is right there on the first sprue with the giant sword. Okay, so lots of really cool stuff in there, very interesting. You can for sure expect those guys to be on some of our battle reports, both the Djinns and the Ifrits and everything. You've already seen in First Blood a battle report where the Sorcerer Kings face off the city-states, and you can expect for sure more of the city-states and more of the Sorcerer Kings in upcoming Last Argument of King and First Blood battle reports. Okay, that's going to be it for the unboxing of the sprues. Now to the big part, the part that interests you sometimes even more. Oh my god, just look at the 3D chains there, I just realized. Okay, sorry, back to the subject at that point. Now we switch to the Tactica, where we're gonna see first the Djinns and then the Rakshasa, how to play each variant, how to combo, which character can take them, etc, etc. As always, you have timestamps if you want. If you leave us now, remember, thumbs up, comments, subscribe, all the YouTube things. Thank you very much. And if you want to buy these boxes, as always, you have the code LOVE10 to get minus 10% on the Parabellum eShop. Thank you very much. I know you are more and more to use this code, and it makes me very happy. And it confirms to me that we need to make Conquest one of the main game for the channel. Thank you very much. Let's go for the Tactica. So let's take a look indeed more in detail to the content, like how to play those Djinns and those Rakshasas and what the different versions bring and some combos that you can make. So again, I see that it's been released in April. Again, I'm sorry, more than 1 month to receive these things. So it comes a bit late. I hope you didn't build yours yet, or that if you build, you magnetize. But anyway, let's take a look at those miniatures and how you can play them. And we will start with the Steelheart Djinns. And those are, they're very interesting. Like, first of all, they look amazing. Well, we've talked about this already, but look at the size of the axes. You've seen them during the unboxing, but those are massive. They cost 190 points, so a budget indeed. They're fast. They're almost cavalry, movement 7, well, which makes sense because they're from the plane of air. They are basic, well, they're glass cannons. Well, that surprises no one being from the plane of air. They are defense 3, which is not insane. Evasion 1, like really not that resilient at all. And they have 5 wounds each, which is average for brutes. So, not crazy. They have Clash 3 and 4 attacks each. Starts to be better. Impact 2, nice. And they especially are Cleave 2. Now that we're talking, like, this is going to be a very good elite hunter unit. They don't want to fight militiamen or this kind of thing. They want to get the first strike on enemy units that are severely armored. Like, for example, if they were in a mirror match and fighting against themselves, Cleave 2 is exactly what you need. And there are quite a few times where Cleave 2 is exactly what you need to push the enemy unit on their evasion stats. Of course, if you're fighting Hold Thanes from the Duellist with a Herald of Stone, it's not gonna do much. But then again, you're fighting against one of the tankiest unit of the game. They are born of air. It has some impact. Like there are a lot of rules that combo with this. For example, if you if you use some spells of air on them, they can heal, which is always enjoyable. And of course, if your warlord is from the plane of air, like if your character is from the plane of air, from the court of air, then you unlock them as mainstay. Those guys can thus be taken by basically everyone except the Sardokar. I forgot the real name. It's Sardokar. That's how I'm calling them now, and which is a good thing. You can have easy access to them, and every character is going to bring them a little something. The thing that is interesting with them, like the added spicy rule on them, is that they have etheric guidance. And what it means is that whenever they are in contact with an enemy regiment, if the enemy regiment is the target of a spell from air, then you count the spell as having one more success. So sometimes you don't care because it's a spell that just needs to unlock, but when it's like one hit per success, then it's going to be an extra hit. So a good bonus. Like it's not something you will plan your entire strategy on, but it's a good bonus to think. And I put you the list of all the Court of Air spells, depending on the Maharaja, the Raj, etc., the Sorcerer. Not in this order. First Maharaja on the left. Well, and then this is from the Sorcerer, and this is from the Raj, if I'm not mistaken. And the very interesting one, I think, is if you have a Maharaja, it's going to be the Lightning Bolt. It's short range, 12 inches, short-ish range, so be careful. But if you can launch it, it will combo very well with the Etheric Guidance, because it means you're gonna get one hit per success, so it's gonna be +1. And in addition, and this will trigger, if the target regiment is in contact with a regiment with a Born of Air, it's gonna be the case, then there is an additional amount of hits equal to the defense characteristic, including all special rules. So it's kind of like the lightning goes from armor to armor. So of course, if you hit something that is defense 5, or that starts to be rare, but defense 4, it's going to be an additional 4 hit. So for example, if you hit a pack of Dragon Slayers, for example, that have hardened 2, your cleave 2 of your attack of your Steelheart Djinns will make them kind of like bounce off, like they're not going to be very efficient. Dragon Slayers are only armor 3, like defense 3, so it's not crazy, but Harden 2 will really protect them. And you're like, oh, I don't have the volume. And when they fight back, I am going to feel the pain because I'm brute. What do? You have your Maharaja sending this spell, and you're gonna make an average of, let's say, 5 or 6 hits, depending on your rolls, and because you have +1 with your Etheric Guidance, and you're gonna have another 3 hits on top. So just from this little combo of magic, you're gonna pop another stand of Dragon Slayers outright, which is something like 80 points, something like this. I exaggerate, but not far. So really good trick to have in your bag, the Steelheart Djinns alongside Maharaja for the lightning bolts, because all the combos are good. Like most of the Sorcerer Kings, it's a very like subtle combo that you need to place, because they are fragile-ish. And okay, they are fast, but you need to planify everything to be just right. Maybe if you make the conflagration ritual to pop free spell casting action, that's going to be even better. But you really need to be careful with that, because to almost 200 points, they can disappear fast. Like we talk about Dragon Slayers, if Dragon Slayers fight them first, they cost about the same-ish points. Like Dragon Slayers are like 30 points more expensive. Those guys disappear if they get targeted by Dragon Slayers. The vice versa is not true. Then we have the other version, which are the Windborne Djinns, and those I like even better. I mean, Steelheart Djinns have a lot of swag, they're very cool with their giant axe, but those are what I would play because they are brute shooting units, and we know how cool it is. Aspires know how cool it is. Soon the Old Dominion will know with their centaurs that I cannot wait to see, and those are the same. They're very good because they are mass 2, like size 2, and it means that you can have your line of Ghouls or Raja Cores, and they will hold the line, hopefully. And those guys can shoot over the shoulders of your infantry and into the ranks of the enemy. So that's a huge bonus, huge bonus. And they are the same cost. They have basically the same stat lines. They have volley 2, which is not insane. They have clash 2 in 4 attacks. I mean, they can fight back if there is an almost dead militia unit coming on them. They can fight back, but it's not their point. They have a range of 20 inches and barrage 3, so actually good. Like I compare them to, I don't know, Fire Slayers, Fire Forged. Sorry, I start to mix the games now. Fire Forged, and they shoot very far with Armor Piercing 1, Barrage 3. It's a great deal. They also have Impact 2, just in case, but I'm not sure you will use it a lot. And if you shoot at an enemy target, an enemy that was the target of this counts the same thing as the Aetheric Guidance. This is Aetheric Marker, so a little bit easier to trigger. It means that when you're gonna shoot, then the enemy is marked and you count spells of air as having 1 success more. A little bit less combos, like the less obvious combos like the Lightning Bolt. But when we have a look at, for example, the homing width of the Maharaja, which is, again, one of the strongest spellcasters of the faction, so no surprise. But homing winds means that you gain basically flurry, like you reroll all failed hits on a unit. And of course, if you point the homing winds on the Windborne Djinns, they're going to be volley 3. And let me tell you that volley 3 at great range, armor piercing, great rolls, volley 3 and volley 3 full rerolls is not the same statistics, like at all. I love these units. 190 points is aggressively costed. They will evaporate again, the same as Steelheart Djinns, but since they will be in your backline, maybe they will survive a bit longer. And they do have great firepower. They are very easy to use because they are size 2, and they are very well recipient to the buffs. Like, for example, since they are Bon Air, if they get a little bit shot at by an opponent, they can heal while they receive the homing winds, and that's great. Love the Windborne Djinns. If you don't know what to build and you don't care, I would recommend to build those guys because they really have a unique role and they combo very well with a lot of things. Having 3 Windborne Djinns and 3 Steelheart Djinns later on is good as well if you go full air. And yeah, there is no bad choice to make there. Now we go to the big boy, the Rakshasa Bakasura. This thing is 260 points. Let's get it out of the way. It's a monster in terms of point as well. Like, it costs a lot. But that's the price of beauty. I mean, just look at it. Look at it, how cool it looks. Like, probably the coolest monster so far in Conquest, in my opinion. I mean, many of them are cool, and we don't have the Stone Forged yet. I don't think I need to explain why this giant demon spirit thing with 4 swords and with flames on his back and this like typical like Asian mythology face is cool. Like, it just is. Now, how do you play him? This is the duellist version of the Rakshasa. It has, and there's gonna be statistics that are shared, 16 wounds. Okay, you need to kill him all the way until the end. It doesn't degrade like any monster in Conquest, which is one of the things I'm a bit sad. Like, it could be nice to have a degrading, at least when you kill like 66% or 75% of his wounds, to have some degrade in statistics, because it's, well, anyway, not a debate. Defense 3, evasion 1, the same as Djinns. Resolve 3, okay, not crazy good, but you don't take this guy to tank the center of the line for your army. That's not why you want him. You want him because he is movement 7, so he will usually be able to make charge and attack first, and because it has 15 attacks, 15, well, just slashing away with his swords, at Clash 3, so he's going to be Clash 4 when you inspire, and he has Cleave 1, and Impact 5, just to soften him up. Do note, and this is going to be true of both Rakshasas, they are born of flame, so they don't go in pure army of air. I mean, you can put them, but they don't synergize as much. So do be careful about that. Though, since they are literally burning demons or spirits, I never remember which of the Asura or the Devas are the good or the bad. I think Asuras are evil. Anyway, since he's burning, he has Aura of Death 5, which is fine. Like, if something survived your 15 attacks at Cleave 1, Clash 4, and Impact 5 before that, they're gonna have Aura of Death 5. And they're Terrifying 1 as well. Oh, I forgot that. So, really, this thing is a blender. Like, absolute blender. And to make it even better, if you make a charge against an enemy regiment with a character stand attached to it, which I think counts as well for the Fallen Divinity, because there is no character stand attached, but it is a character, so I guess it works, you get +3 to your charge distance, which means you have movement 7, so it's going to be 10 plus d6 threat range, which is huge, like absolutely huge. And if it's something a little bit soft, like you don't care too much about the counter attack, you can make a double move and charge, which is going to be 14. It's going to be 17 plus d6, so in average 20 inches you can charge and give Impact 5 or with Terrifying 1 or of Death 5 after that. This thing can just beeline straight for your opponent's characters and just slaughter them. And the funny thing is like it can make a duel, it can declare a duel, and on top of that, if the enemy declines the duel, you gain a bonus. Because it's like the duellist rule where you can declare duels left and right. The enemy never accepts, because why would he accept? He has no penalty for refusing. Well, in this case, if the enemy refuses, it means that you are going to gain flurry. And it means that you're going to be clash 4, rerolling 5s and 6s. This is just insane. Your enemy will really have a terrible choice. Like, do I accept the duel and I'm dead? Like, you don't survive that. There is no way anything survives a duel. Like, even a good Thane Lord of the duellist or a Brawler of the North, like, nothing survives a duel with this. And do I accept my character dying? Maybe making 1 or 2 wounds on the Bakasura back. Or do I accept that this thing is gonna get flurry and probably obliterate my regiment? Do know that if it kills the regiment where there was the enemy warlord, you score a victory point, which is cool. Like, we like this kind of rule where you gain victory points, like a little bit for very fluffy actions. We have the same in Dystopian Wars, where if you capture like a station with secret documents on it because your opponent deployed it to gain some special rules, well, then you gain victory points. This is the same concept, and I really love it. And it has the last word. We'll see it also for the other Rakshasa, which is when it dies, like when it's destroyed, one enemy, not everybody, at 8 inches, you choose him. And if this enemy regiment that you chose is within 8 inches of a friendly character or a regiment with a wizard rule, you can kind of like get the power of a Rakshasa, I need to learn, get it in your character, and he's just gonna make a huge, I don't know, fireball or something, and then you get 8 automatic hits on the enemy's flank. And without morale, but still cool. Like, it's like last little thing if you want to finish off a regiment or something. 8 automatic hits is no joke. Of course, if you target Steelforge, it doesn't do that much. But if you do that on a very elite Dragon Slayers again, they will absolutely hate getting targeted by 8 automatic hits. So yeah, good little bonus. When you're dead, you keep dying. So this is just a mauler, like it will slaughter everything. Less combos to be made with that. There is one thing that I pointed out, is the Jadoo Kavash upgrade for a character. And when, so it means you need to be from the plane of fire. When you make a successful cast of a spell of fire, so it doesn't mean anything, like this is just the upgrade. If you do any spell of fire at all, everybody with Born of Flame rule, so the whole table basically, reroll 6s to hit until the end of the round, and then you get some bonus, but that's not the main thing. It is a pricey upgrade, but it means that if your little Bakasura doesn't gain flurry for whichever reason, because he's fighting a regiment without characters, or your enemy didn't decline the duels, etc., it means that you're gonna be at clash 4 rerolling 6s, and that's a huge bonus. You just need to activate your character first to make a spell, but that's a huge bonus. And for the rest of the army, it's already really good. It's a great upgrade already. But on 15 attacks at cleave 1, with Terrifying 1, that's value that you're getting out of it for sure. And very last unit that we're going to see, the Rakshasa Ravanar. So same stat lines-ish, in movement, in defense, in wounds, Aura of Death, Born of Flame, Terrifying, Impact 5, all the same. Though it has less attacks, only 11 attacks, it's a bit cheaper, 240 points. And it has different utility. It has cleave 2 instead of cleave 1, so it starts to be like really threatening. It doesn't have any special attacks with the characters and stuff. It's made to hunt brutes and demons. Yeah, demons, but monsters especially. Why? Because first of all, it has Fiend Hunter, which means you get flurry anyway when you target brutes or monsters. That's great, like amazing. So what we said, clash 4 rolling everything is great. Same thing as Arrogance for the Bakasura. The hubris, how do you pronounce it in English? Hubris of the Ravanar gives him plus 3 inches to its charge if it targets a monster, not a brute, specifically a monster. Okay, it's cool. You're gonna hunt fallen divinities, it's gonna be great. Or Talos, whatever. Amazing. This thing is then going to make his impact. All the attacks at clash 4 rolling, maybe everything. Cleave 2, of Death, all the combo we know is great. Same last word as well, all the same combo when he dies, one of your character or wizard can make a fireball, basically. Great. Why is it cheaper and why do I like it a bit less? Well, it's very much targeted, like, it's a good unit. Cleave 2 is great. Less attacks, okay. Makes it a little bit less good blender against anything. And it's less unique. Having Fiend Hunter and having a monster that is great at killing other monsters, fine. It is going to be very good as you roll. Like, don't think I'm saying that it's not great on the table, because monsters are very annoying to deal with. And this guy is just gonna charge, I don't know, Tauntor and be like, okay, you know what, I don't like you, and I'm gonna make you more than half of your wounds in damage in a single attack, and you're gonna hate that. But then you're gonna die to it. Like, he's gonna punch you back hard. So having Fiend Hunter on such a unit is great. He's better against monsters than against brutes because of the +3 charges, but apart from that, it's a very good unit. I like it less because it's less of a blender of enemy units, and I don't know, I think both are good. Like, it really depends of the rest of your list. Like, I cannot give you a definitive answer, like you should build this, you should build that. It depends on the rest of your list. Do you need a blender that will kill a lot of different things and especially be a threat to your character, which is something very unique? Like, there is very little giant monster, like it's the only one giant monster like this that is a dedicated character hunter. And it will bring new knots into the brain of your opponents, because it's going to be the first time that it's going to be like, okay, there is this huge, very fast monster that can obliterate my characters. Maybe my whole strategy relies on it and I need to rethink my entire deployment. While having a monster that can kill your own monsters is nothing new. The enemy general will know how to handle this. Maybe he will not because he's a new player, but it's a challenge that he's seen before. The Bakasura brings a unique challenge to your opponent, and that's why I like it a little bit more. But the Ravanar is still very cool. There are a few things that can be very good with him. For example, the Searing Sandstorm can absolutely devastate your opponent. It's, again, short range, 12 inches, but then you get -1 defense to the enemy. And with Cleave 2, it can be absolutely absurd. I mean, this is a good spell for anyone. Even Ghouls will be very happy if the enemy has -1 to his defense characteristic. But it just gives you equivalent Cleave 3, and then the enemy monsters will just melt under your attack. Absolutely. Be careful that it doesn't, like, don't send this spell if it doesn't change anything. For example, if -1 defense plus Cleave 2 would bring you anyway to the same evasion stats of your opponent. So do make this little calculation. A cool little combo, if you want to use Searing Sandstorm, is the upgrade, the relic Icon of Transmutation, which, for example, you point a unit, one of yours, that is Born of Flame, and you gain Born of Air instead. So it means that, in this case, the enemy not only has -1 to its defense, but also -1 to its evasion if you launch Searing Sandstorm. A little bit edge case, but against enemies with very high evasion values, this can be a good combo to keep in your head. Works also for the Bakasura, of course. And that is going to be it. I hope that you enjoy this video. If you do, as always, a thumbs up. It really helps us to be seen by more. Give us a little comment as well. You can gain one of 2 fleets for Dystopian Wars, so it's a great game. You can start with this. And if you are not subscribed yet, do subscribe. We're going to put more and more battle reports on Conquest, and of course new videos on Tacticas and unboxing and everything. We're probably going to try to pump up the number of Conquest battle reports, because I'm not going to explain to you my private life, but maybe I can now start to record short battle reports next to my work at lunch break. So at least once, maybe twice a week, we'll see how it works. It's going to be with Yasant, and if we do, probably we're going to start with Conquest First Blood, so you might see quite a... like, if I can record a lot more battle reports, which is the main problem I have to put more videos, is find time to record, then for sure you expect a lot more small scale First Blood battle report very soon. If you want to buy these miniatures, I've said it already, but you have code LOVE10 to get -10%. Do enjoy it, like always better. It's from the official Parabellum website, so straight from the producers, and you can have a free delivery if you reach a certain amount. So always very good, and plus it really helps the channel. Like I see that more and more of you are buying through this with this code, and thank you very much. It really shows me the interest that you guys have on Conquest, and it really solidifies my decision to say like, okay, let's make a lot more Conquest. It's getting more and more popular, this game, and for sure there is a demand for more videos, so that's exactly what we're going to do. Thank you for having watched until the end once more. Take care of yourself, and until the next video, remember to keep things fair in love and war games. Bye.